The nightmare of my teeth falling out. It was one of those nights, the kind where the silence feels heavy, thick, and oppressive, the kind of silence that whispers to you, reminding you that you're never truly alone. I lay there, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling, unable to go back to sleep. The air in my bedroom felt unusually cold, and the shadows stretched unnaturally long, like they were creeping closer with each passing minute. I've had nightmares before, we all have, but this one felt different. It started with a sensation, a strange pressure in my mouth, not like when I grind my teeth, but something deeper, more unsettling. Something inside me was moving. It felt like my teeth were shifting, almost as if they were being pulled from my gums. I shifted in bed, thinking it was just a weird dream, a figment of my imagination. But no matter how hard I tried, the pressure didn't go away. Suddenly the sensation grew more intense. It wasn't just pressure anymore, it was pain. Sharp, pulling pain, like my teeth were loosening, being drawn out one by one. I gasped and reached for my mouth, but there was nothing there, nothing I could feel with my fingers. I felt something wet. Something sticky and warm trickled down my chin, pooling in my mouth. My heart pounded in my chest as I realized my blood, was filling the spaces where my teeth had been. It was like my body itself had become foreign to me. I could feel them, the emptiness, the terrible hollow where my teeth should have been. The room spun. I could barely breathe, and that's when I heard it, a soft grinding sound, like teeth being scraped together. My heart pounded in my chest as I realized the noise wasn't coming from outside or from the walls. It was coming from inside my own mouth. I stumbled out of bed and rushed to the bathroom. The fluorescent light above flickered, casting an eerie glow on the mirror. My hands trembled as I slowly lifted my head to face my reflection. I don't know what I expected to see, but it certainly wasn't that. My teeth, those once strong pearly whites, were cracking. They were shattering, falling apart as if made of fragile glass. One by one, my teeth came loose, tumbling down into my mouth like marbles, their sharp edges scraping against the roof of my mouth. The noise was maddening, like nails on a chalkboard. I could feel each individual tooth loosen, as if my body was betraying me, as if something darker was at work. I reached for my mouth, desperate to stop the nightmare from becoming real, but each touch only made it worse. I could feel them, my teeth, grinding against each other, moving, falling from their sockets. And as they fell, I felt the emptiness grow. The hollow spaces where my teeth had been a moment ago, now filled with something else. A chill swept through my spine as I realized the truth. I wasn't dreaming. This wasn't some twisted illusion. My teeth were really falling out. A low hum echoed through the bathroom. The walls seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting with each pulse. I looked up, and there, at the edge of the mirror, there was something watching me. Figures, shrouded in darkness, their eyes glowing faintly like embers. They were there, but not there. Shadows that moved with intent. They whispered, take them all." The voice was soft, like a breeze brushing past my ear. But the words, they crawled into my mind, gnawing at the edges of my sanity. I could feel their presence behind me, their cold breath on my neck. I dared not turn around. But I could hear them breathing, watching. The mirror started to distort, the glass rippling like water. Slowly, impossibly, the figures in the mirror began to materialize, stepping out of the glass, their bodies twisting as they approached. I wanted to scream, but my throat was tight, constricted by the terror building inside me. They reached for me. Then it happened. I felt something crawling inside my mouth. It wasn't just the empty space where my teeth had been. No, there was something else, something foreign, something writhing. It was alive. It moved, skittering across my tongue, burrowing deeper into my throat. A slimy, crawling sensation, like worms writhing inside my flesh. I tried to scream, but my voice was caught in my throat, suffocated by the dark presence that had taken over. The pain was unbearable. My gums, raw and tender, burned with the sensation of something alive, something that shouldn't have been there, slithering deeper inside me. I could feel it twisting, coiling, and the more I tried to push it out, the further it seemed to burrow. My mouth, now a cavern of raw tissue, was filled with this thing. It felt like it was eating away at me from the inside out, pulling at the very fibers of my being. "Your teeth are just the beginning." I turned, finally facing the mirror. The reflection that stared back at me wasn't mine. My face was twisted, unrecognizable. The skin around my mouth stretched taut, pulled back, revealing gums that seemed to be rotting, decaying before my eyes. There was a void where my teeth had been, and in their place dark, empty sockets, each one oozing something thick and black. The figures, now fully emerged from the mirror, stood behind me. They were no longer shadows. They were real, solid, their forms stretching and contorting, their features barely discernible in the dim light. They crowded around me, their bodies pressed against mine, suffocating me with their cold presence. I wanted to scream, but the only sound I made was a low, rattling cough as the crawling sensation inside me intensified, as if something inside me was about to explode. I fell to my knees, clutching my face, but no matter how tightly I held on, it felt like the darkness was swallowing me whole. My teeth, my real teeth, weren't the only things falling out. Something inside me, something that had been buried deep for years, was coming loose. My mind, my very being. A cold hand, no, not a hand, something else grabbed my arm, pulling me closer to the mirror. My reflection moved of its own accord, its mouth stretching impossibly wide. The whisper grew louder, more insistent. "Join us. You're ours now." And in that moment I understood. This wasn't just a nightmare, this was a warning, a curse, a fate that awaited me if I didn't escape. But it was too late. The shadows closed in, the figures swarming around me, their hands reaching out to drag me into the depths. And as I was pulled into the dark abyss, the last thing I heard was the terrible sound of teeth, breaking, shattering, falling forever. The next morning I woke up in my bed, drenched in sweat. My heart pounded in my chest, and my mouth, thankfully, was still intact. But something was different. As I brushed my teeth, I noticed that the mirror, once clear and pristine, now had a crack running down its center, a crack that had not been there before. And in that crack I saw something moving, a shadow. So I froze, and for a moment I thought I heard that whisper again. Take them all. Thanks for watching this nightmare story. Don't forget to comment on your horrible nightmares, thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might enjoy it.